Exactly. And it's like a lot of guys are saying they want a feminine woman, right? And what does that really mean when they're saying that? Is they want a woman that will submit to them. Okay. Again, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's actually a good thing if a woman willingly submits to a man because she trusts him, right? I think that's a beautiful thing and that's great. Okay. However, what does that mean? If a woman submits to you as a man, that means that you want to be the leader.
Right.
So how are you going to put it on women to initiate the change?
To lead the change.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, I mean, it's just logic. It's not that I'm trying to bash men. It's just like, look, the responsibility, you want to be the leader. That's what you say you're looking for, is to be a leader in a relationship. You want a woman to submit to you. But then when I put it on you, put everything on you, you say, you blame men all the time. It's always men's fault. Well, that's what the leader does, right? It's like, we were talking about this before too. It's like in the military, they say gripes go up. They don't go down, right? It means that you gripe up to your superior officer. They don't gripe down. If you're a superior officer and you're griping down, you're going to lose so much respect because the buck stops here, right? That's another saying. It's like, I got it. I have the responsibility, right? Because I'm the leader. If you want to be in charge, if you want a woman to look up to you, if you want to be the authority, then you have to say the buck stops here. That whatever happens, I'm responsible for this crew. I'm responsible for this ship. We talked about the captain of the ship. It's all the same thing, is that you have to take responsibility. And so if I then say, hey, men, you need to man up, you know, I'm going to give it to you and say it is all your fault because you're the one who's responsible. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. You're the one who's responsible because you want the responsibility. Then you have to take it if that's what, because how could that even work? How could you be the leader in a relationship, have a woman that submits to you, but then you're not wanting to take responsibility and lead? It's like, it's so funny because so many people complain about having responsibility without authority, right? They're like, well, if I have all the responsibility, then I need to have the authority to make decisions. But then what about the flip? You want the authority, but you don't want the responsibility.
Right. Like, they want their cake and eat it too, is essentially, because it's coming from a place of very selfish behavior, really, at the end of the day. They want, and that's the same thing with like the 50-50, right? Like the guys who want 50-50, but they want to be the authority. Like, in what way does that make sense? It's just you manipulating the situation so you get all the benefit and then the person you're with doesn't get any benefit. Whereas if you're a man and you take the responsibility, even if you're trying to resist that, you will get the benefit even though you don't realize that you will. Like, the benefit is you have pride in yourself and that you're taking care of the people in your life that you care about.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They don't understand.
And because it's pride, because it's not something that you can logically understand.
Right.
You just have to say, I have pride. That's why I do
But
it.
I feel like pride is logical, in my opinion.
It's like, I'm willing to take the short end of the stick, of the deal, because I'm prideful. Like, go ahead, handicap my position when we play the game. I'll still win because you see what I'm saying? That's what it is. When you're like, oh, it's not fair, it just lacks pride. It's
life isn't fair.
Like, that's what I'm saying is like, it's an intangible thing to, you have it or you don't have it. You have to have this sense of pride of having that high self-worth as a man, which is, by the way, very attractive to women as well, right? Because women want a man that has that sense of self-worth, that has that high value of himself. How is she going to value and esteem you when you don't even value yourself that highly? You talk like you do. You talk like you do, but you don't really
back it up,
right? Because if you're coming from a place of scarcity, even if we talk about the money thing with paying 50, if you're like, I'm worried someone's going to take advantage of me or it's not fair, it's like, you're coming from a place of scared. Like, if you're like, I have plenty of money and I can make more money and I don't care about spending $50 on a date, even if a woman just wants to take advantage, who cares? That's pride. That's prideful. You see what I'm saying? That's having a high esteem for yourself. That's coming from a place of abundance instead of, who wants to be with a man that's from a place of scarcity? That person can't lead you. How you're afraid? They're afraid for their own self. They don't even think they can take care of themselves. They're afraid they're not going to have enough money if they pay for some date, or they're going to get used. So then, how do you then, have confidence in them and look up to them? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to be the kind of person that a woman would look up, that anyone would look up to.
Better than